This is a real photograph. A person walking on the sky. No editing, no tricks. And so, is this an island where the trees look like they grew on another planet? And this, mountains painted in every color of the rainbow. Every single place you're about to see is real, right here on Earth, and you could stand in every one of them. Today we count down the 10 most unreal places on the planet. And number 1 is so strange. Most people refuse to believe the photos until they see it for themselves. Let us begin. Number 10. Pamukkale in southwestern Turkey. Its name means cotton castle, and from a distance that is exactly what it looks like, a whole hillside of pure white terraces spilling down the mountain. But this is not snow. It is travertine, solid rock, built layer by layer over thousands of years by warm mineral water pouring down from thermal springs above. Those bright turquoise pools are real. People have been bathing in these exact waters since Roman times. And at the very top sit the ruins of Hierapolis, an entire ancient city, its marble columns now lying half sunk beneath the water. Number 9. The Zhangye Danxia landform in the Gansu province of China. They call them the Rainbow Mountains, and the colors are completely real. For over 20 million years, layers of red, orange, and yellow sandstone were pressed down, then folded and lifted by the same collision that raised the Himalayas. Wind and rain wore the surface away, exposing these impossible stripes of color running across the hills like brush strokes. Boardwalks wind through the ridges so visitors can walk among them. And right after a light rain, the colors deepen until the whole range seems to glow. Number 8. Plitvice Lakes in Croatia. 16 terrace lakes, stacked one above the other, and linked by a staircase of tumbling waterfalls, all glowing an unreal shade of turquoise. The tallest, the Great Waterfall, drops over 250 feet. The water is so rich in minerals that it slowly grows natural stone dams between the lakes, which means this entire landscape is quietly rebuilding itself, one waterfall at a time. Wooden walkways run directly over the water, and in autumn the forest around the lakes turns to fire, red and gold wrapped around all that glowing blue. Number 7. Antelope Canyon in Arizona. From ground level you would walk straight past it, just a thin crack in the desert floor. But climb down inside, and the walls rise in smooth, flowing waves of orange sandstone, sculpted over millions of years by flash floods tearing through the rock. Around midday, the magic happens. Shafts of sunlight drop straight through the narrow slot above and land on the sandy floor like solid beams. It sits on Navajo land, and it is so photogenic that a single photograph taken inside once sold for millions of dollars. Number 6. Cappadocia in central Turkey. This whole landscape was built by volcanoes. Soft ash hardened into rock, then eroded into thousands of tall, thin cones that locals call fairy chimneys. And people did not just live beside them. They carved homes, churches, and entire underground cities straight into the stone, some going 8 levels deep. But the real showstopper comes at dawn. Almost every clear morning, hundreds of hot air balloons rise together and drift silently over the valleys of stone. It may be the single most surreal sunrise anywhere on Earth. Number 5. Deadvlei, deep in the Namib Desert of Namibia. The name means dead marsh, and it earns it. A blinding white clay pan, cracked like broken pottery, scattered with the charred black skeletons of camel thorn trees. Those trees died around 900 years ago when the river that fed them changed course, but it is so dry here that they never rotted. They simply stand, scorched black, frozen in time. Rising behind them are some of the tallest sand dunes on the planet, glowing deep orange. White floor, black trees, red dunes, blue sky. 4 impossible colors in one frame. Number 4. Zhangjiajie, back in China. Over 3,000 towering sandstone pillars, some more than 1,000 feet tall, shoot straight up out of the forest and vanish into the clouds. When the mist rolls in, the tops of the pillars appear to float in mid-air, completely cut off from the ground. If it looks familiar, there's a reason. These peaks helped inspire the floating mountains in the film Avatar. A glass elevator climbs one of the cliffs, and a glass bridge hangs across a canyon nearby, letting you stare straight down through hundreds of feet of open air. Number 3. The Grand Prismatic Spring in Yellowstone. It is the largest hot spring in the United States, wider than a football field, and from above it looks like a giant glowing eye staring back at the sky. The deep blue center is nearly boiling, almost pure water. But those blazing rings of orange, gold, and green around the edges are alive, mats of heat-loving bacteria, each color thriving at a slightly different temperature. A boardwalk lets visitors walk right along the steaming edge, dwarfed by the sheer scale of it. Nothing about it looks like it belongs on this planet. Number 2. Socotra Island, floating in the Arabian Sea off the coast of Yemen. This island has been isolated for millions of years, and the result is staggering. A third of its plants grow nowhere else on the planet. The star is the dragon blood tree, shaped like an umbrella flipped inside out, which bleeds a deep red sap when its bark is cut. Around them, swollen bottle trees cling to bare rock like something out of a dream, and pale dunes run right up to the turquoise sea. Biologists call Socotra the most alien-looking place on Earth. Standing here, it is impossible to argue. And number 1, the Salar de Uyuni in Bolivia. The largest salt flat on Earth, over 4,000 square miles of blinding white, so perfectly flat that satellites use it to calibrate their instruments. In the dry season, it becomes an endless honeycomb of white hexagons stretching to the horizon. But when the rains come, everything changes. A thin sheet of water settles over the salt, and the entire desert becomes the largest mirror in the world. The sky lands on the ground. The horizon disappears. People seem to walk across the clouds themselves. This is the photograph your brain refused to believe, and it is 100% real. So which one of these did you have to look at twice? Drop the number in the comments. I read every single one. And if this reset your idea of what our planet can look like, subscribe, because this is only the beginning. We are building an entire series on the most incredible places on Earth, and some of the ones coming up are even harder to believe. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.